Hello again, it's Mr. Pete, your YouTube shop teacher, and this is tips number 711. And I'm sitting here next to my Craftsman 12-inch lathe, and I was just thinking, when a man ordered one of these, or any other brand for that matter, he was very much in the mood for making chips right away. He didn't want to have to learn to grind the tool bits and all of that. He just wanted to get to work. So a lot of these tools and machines were bought out of catalogs, and this is the 1966 Sears catalog, but Sears and many other companies, including South Bend, provided at extra cost a complete set of tool bits, high-speed steel, all pre-ground and ready to cut. So let's take a look at some of those, shall we? Again, this is the 1966 Sears Craftsman tool catalog. And if you open it up, and on the page that is marked Lathe Accessories, you'll see that item number 17 here, they sell 6 different high-speed steel tools, pre-ground, ready to use, and in the 3/16 size, which would have fit the 6-inch lathe, that was $2.99, and the 1/4-inch size, also $2.99, ready to use, and once you dull them, you could touch them up rather easily because they are already the correct shape. So isn't that neat? Now, of course, Atlas Press Company made all of the Sears Craftsman lathes. So let's take a look at the Atlas catalog from 1950. And so, on the page marked Atlas 10-inch lathe attachments, if I can zoom in a little bit, you will see that there are the same bits that are shown in the Sears catalog, but I think this is a little bit better view of it. But even better than that, I have a set of those bits, so let's take a look at them. So in review, there's the page out of the catalog, and there are the actual bits that I have owned for many years. In fact, I had several sets of them at one time. Not sure what happened to them, but 5 of these have survived. The one with the sticker on it I have ground myself, but you can see there's right and left, and these are their turning tools, a little bit different geometry than we are used to in regards to the South Bend, but also a threading tool and a round nose. Just amazing that these could have survived for that many years. And now I've got something even more interesting, I think. This is the 1955 South Bend Anniversary Catalog. They are 50 years old. Let's look inside. Looking inside that catalog on the page with tooling and tooling accessories, look what we have here. There's that famous set of ground cutter bits for forged turning tool holders, just as I showed you in the South Bend How to Run a Lathe book. But even better than that, 2 weeks ago I managed to buy a set of those. And on the bottom of the same page, for 60 cents, you can buy the South Bend cutter bit grinding gauge. And guess what? So when I went to that auction 2 weeks ago, and I don't believe I've shown any pictures of that auction, I don't have a whole lot to show you, but there were a lot of machinist tools. I did manage to buy a few, not very many, but there was a display case. And inside the locked display case were these 2 little boxes along with other things, and when they opened that up, I could see that there was a gauge in there, and I asked the ring man, can you sell that separate, this box? He said, no, and he shoved the 2 together, which is fine, but I didn't really want these, so I'll set that off to the side. But inside the little box was this South Bend gauge, and I've been wanting one for a long time. I thought I would get all this for about $3 or $5, but it cost $20, but I don't care. And there'll be a video on how to make one of these, so keep watching. But what I didn't know at that time was inside this little plastic box there is a set of the South Bend pre-ground tool bits, and someone marked them. whoever bought them marked them with masking tape and the name of what they are. I did not do that, but they have never been used. Let's take a closer look. You know what? I wouldn't doubt if this is the last surviving set of these that have not been tampered with or thrown away in the entire world. But we have here a threading tool, a right hand facing tool, left hand facing tool, right hand turning, left hand turning, and a round nose. And there they are again, and that would cost $2.40. So the owner of a South Bend lathe could unpack his machine, get it wired, and if he bought these, he immediately put a piece of work in his 3-jaw chuck and start turning. As if that wasn't enough, and I know you're getting sick of this, but this is about the 1970 Armstrong tool catalog, and look what we have here. So on the page of tool bits, and they sell unground ones, but here are ground tool bits, and you can buy those in about 4 different sizes, from 1/4 inch up to 1/2 inch, and look at all the different shapes, 10 or 12 different shapes. So I guess my point here in this video is that a blank piece of high-speed steel that is not sharpened, not ground, is useless to a beginning machinist who just bought himself a machine and wants to get to work. So there evidently was enough of a demand for pre-ground tools that these 3 companies that I just showed you offered them in their catalogs, and there might very well have been other companies that did the same, and perhaps Armstrong provided them as a vendor to these other companies, but I really do not know that for sure, but it's a possibility. Well, there they are, 6 Atlas bits and 6 South Bend bits, along with the South Bend gauge, and it all started when I bought this South Bend grinding jig. I hope you liked this series of 5 that I have presented so far. Please continue to watch, because in the next video I'm going to show you how to dress a grinding wheel prior to doing your grinding on the tool bits, followed by showing you how to make a wheel dresser. So you might find those of some interest too. This is your YouTube shop teacher, Mr. Pete, saying so long for now.